Hello, this is Curtis Whittier, writer and director of this movie, Should You Suspect. I'm joined with two other people from the movie, just Roberto Afamata and Zach Johnson.
Hello. Hi.
That was Roberto and Zach. As you can see, this is a CRV digital production. This was CRV's first ever fully digital movie. It was shot digitally, edited digitally, everything was done digitally. It was our first one, and it was a lot of fun to do.
I liked it. It's really cool.
What they said is basically true. It's a cool movie. It's different from a lot of our other stuff, but I personally think it may be our best movie yet. This shot here, for those of you who are familiar with the movie Seven Samurai, I just totally ripped that shot off of a shot of some samurais running in Seven Samurai. This movie, one of the major influences was definitely Kurosawa's work. For example, his work in Seven Samurai and such, and yeah, just some violence here. Zach Johnson, how do you feel about the violence in this movie? Like, we've never really done something as violent as this, and how did you feel about doing it? And in retrospect, how do you think it turned out?
First of all, I think it turned out good, and it's not that bad. It's sort of fun violence, and it's not real. It's good.
Yeah, that blood scene was actually chocolate syrup there. There was a close-up on Sean's mouth. There's a close-up on my mouth right there. Yeah, this movie, of course, we spoke a different language. Everything was just made up on the spot. This isn't like a pre-planned language or anything. I like that last shot. The shot of us just tearing apart our victim, played by Casey Call, by the way. We just really looked like animals, and I'll tell you, it was fantastic fun. It was fun just tearing him apart and pretending we were eating him. Roberto, what are your memories of this scene?
It was a really tough movie to do. Whatever.
And basically, thanks, Roberto. Yeah.
This is the first movie where we went into so much detail. We scoped out all our locations. Everything's on location. We've got, what do we have? We have underneath Davis Boulevard, and then Indian Springs. There's just a trail back there. It's a lot of nice foresty. And we went into a lot of detail with the costumes. We made sure that the tribe had grungy, gross clothes that was all torn apart and dirty. And then you'll see coming up, there's agents of the future. We tried to make them look as just sort of tough as we could, and I think the attention to detail is really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. It was a lot. It was a lot of work. A lot of work went into this movie, but it was definitely worth it in the end. You saw the credit earlier that said music by Alphaville. Every piece of music we used in this film is from Alphaville's their album Forever Young, and the music just seemed to work perfect. Actually, the person who suggested we use that music was Zach Johnson. So what was it about that that band and that album that made you think it would be usable for this movie?
It's a funny story, actually. I had listened to it as a kid and loved it, and I hadn't listened to it for like 2 or 3 years and lost it, and all of a sudden I found it again. It just so happened a couple days before filming, and so I showed it to Curtis, and immediately he fell in love with it, and it sort of fell into place after that. It works perfect.
And there you are, Zach. They're seen on the right side of the screen
That's me.
as one of the agents of death. Now, the question is, as you can see, the American Empire agents of death, they wear an swastika on on uh, on their badge of the American flag, and basically it's sort of like, has the Nazi Party returned and taken over, or is this just a similar organization that's formed in the future? We don't really know. I mean, we didn't get too into that. It's just yeah, left up to the viewer and just whatever you want to think, I guess. Uh, yeah, this scene here, my character is explaining a dream he had. As strange as it is, this is actually based on sort of an actual dream I had. I was sort of in a half asleep state when I had this dream, and yeah, just interesting that this was an actual dream I had.
It's sort of a nice contrast, just they're these really raggedy bunch of people, but they're actually really smart. They know math equations. It's like, what where does their knowledge end, But also, where does it flow from? Is there like an underground library or something?
Yeah, it's also a good contrast of the cannibal tribes versus the agents of death. Just the way that we directed the scenes with the agents of death was sort of really orderly, controlled shots and stuff like that. Whereas a lot of the scenes with the cannibals, kind of sloppily style, and also it works with obviously the way they dress and the way they act. A lot of the cannibals kind of act like animals, really, like just go by their natural animal instincts, basically. And I guess one animal instinct would to be to sort of one animal in the pack or the tribe has food, and he's not willing to share it. You have to go after him, and that's kind of what's going on here. Roberto, what were your what are your memories on this chase scene?
I just remember I got really dirty and stuff, and a few scratch on my legs, and yeah.
Yeah, that was. I think you did get very dirty. I think we all got dirty sliding down that hill. It was a kind of a muddy hill.
It was springtime on the mud.
Yeah, it was tough, but it just worked with the cannibals perfectly. I love this scene of us killing Mason here, and
It's especially believable right there. Just they're hitting it as hard as they can. He's dead.
yeah, yeah, and of course us just poking him, or Sean's character poking him. Sean's character maybe is a little bit more sympathetic for Mason's character, and I love this, just sucking from the battery like it's their only source of food. I mean, what exactly does the battery acid do? Maybe it has some type of narcotic effect or something. Maybe it's just the only thing they have in their world. And of course, then here eating Mason, making the decision to eat Mason.
I'd like to.
The agents are pretty cool. I really like them. They're like pretty much the best character on the movie.
Yeah, definitely. I really like this scene too. Just them discovering the battery and uh, finding that they have to sort of they're sort of on the trail of the cannibal tribe, and
Yeah, if you look really closely, that's actually a different battery than the tribe was eating. We lost the first one in the river. We had to get a new one.
that's true. I forgot about that. Um, oh yeah, this part. If you look closely, right on that pillar there, there is. You can see CRV written on that pillar. We wrote it in chocolate the day that we filmed the scene of us beating up Casey's character.
That was cool.
Yeah, just a nice little secret in there.
We got some more secrets coming up. Just wait. This next scene is one of my favorites. It's really well put together, and that part's really funny.
This is sort of the beginning of the end for at least for Roberto's character, and I get it all the time that the line there was the agents of death are surrounding us, and people are always like, but there's only two of them. They couldn't surround you guys or something like that. It's like whatever, man. Just enjoy the movie, okay? That's a great shot right there, by the way. Roberto, of course, getting his shirt ripped off. How did you feel being half naked in this, Roberto?
I thought it was really nice and sexy of myself. I really like my movement of my body.
I think we all feel the same way, really on a similar level, if you know what I'm saying. I love the similar movement of the two agents of death in that shot, and yeah, there goes Roberto, just shirtless, a boy shirtless out in the countryside. Yeah, now I don't know if I mentioned this, but this whole movie was actually shot in color, and then later we digitally, using a digital process, converted it all to black and white. I felt the black and white had a gritty quality, and I was also very much going for the style of sort of, as I said earlier, a Kurosawa movie. And he did a lot of his early movies, of course, in black and white: Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, Hidden Fortress, and I really liked the style of those movies, and I felt that it fit well for this movie. Now, Zach, the guns we use are, of course, regular Nintendo guns, just attached to your pocket. Now, that was kind of your idea. Where did that idea come from? And also, you also helped design what the Agents of Death are wearing. Just sort of explain what was behind the gun and their outfits.
Okay, the gun came from sort of a childhood game I used to play where I was sort of half man, half robot, and I'd plug the Nintendo gun into myself, and the energy for the gunshot would be coming from myself, and I always thought that was so cool. And I thought that in the future, Agents of Death would definitely have that. And then for the costumes, basically the part that I came up with were the black slacks that sort of brought it all together. We sort of had a basic outline already, and then we happened to go to DI while we were looking for the costume.